mean, immediately they feel nice and bright, and hopefully with the nano web coating have a prolonged life. For me, my immediate thing that I'm noticing from the sound is when I'm, again, with extended technique with the slap bass thing, those D and G strings, the frequency, the bandwidth is very thick, which is nothing but hats off to ELIXIR, because they use a hybrid string gauge. So the E string and the A string are 100s and 80s, and then the D and G string is a 65 and 45 rather than a 60 and 40. So you get that medium light and a slightly heavier top end, which is fantastic. It's great for that sort of playing.
Favourite thing about ELIXIR Strings? I guess over everything it will be longevity, and a very, very close right after that would be actual tone. You have great clarity in the entire range. You're not quacking up here. You know what I mean by quacking. Where it just goes, and you just think, oh. But here it sounds really great. Why is it going here? Nice and clear here, nice and round in the higher register, and also in the low.
Very easy to play, and I think they're good. They're really great to make a sound with. You know, a lot of strings you will find that you will not get a nice sound out of them. You know, and still you're trying really hard, and this is quite effortless to play. And I've been playing, not this set exactly, but I've been playing ELIXIR for about 6 years now, and they last a long time. I played a lot of shows in the West End in London. I played with the BBC Big Band, and they never fail. You know, they always very good. You know, do a great job. You know, and keep their conditions for a long, long time. I love that about these strings as well.
But I definitely love the nickel, the smoothness and the sound of the nickel, and it's super warm and great. Because that's what I try to do when I play with the pick. I try to make it sound like fingers as much as I can. With these, it's kind of hard to tell. So that's really awesome.
For me, it's generally all about clarity. I like playing a lot of things that are, like, whether it's something simple or something very, very complex, it has to have a clarity in it. Now, I really like that with ELIXIR Strings. I get that clarity. I don't have any. I think when I record, when people use me for a project, they get all the bass notes they can hear. It's not like you hear a certain part and then there's a bit where it goes a bit. It's like you hear all of it, and a lot of that detail comes from, you know, the gear, from the strings, from the bass and the pickups, all those things.
Really nice for a modern sound. I think they'd be really good for kind of, you know, like a bass like this. But you can get a really modern sound. But I'm sure, you know, you can get a multiple of tones out of it. You know, just finger technique and things. Feels like they're going to last you, like all ELIXIR Strings do.
Well, because of the tone that I get out of them, I really love the tone. They're kind of easier to play, it feels like. It makes me feel like I can play really smoothly and fluidly. And I don't know whether it's because of the coating or what is in the design, but it just feels great to play.
Well, my main bass is a Fender jazz bass. It's actually a Marcus Miller signature. And it's a very thin neck, thin gauge, and I use quite a lot of sounds with it. I play a lot of sort of open, sustained chords, but sort of tight, funky stuff depending on what the gig is. So it's quite a versatile bass, so it needs versatile strings. So putting it on that bass, I need strings that will play heavy rock stuff, but would also play nice tonal funk stuff, and just give me a big rounded sound as well. So they're perfect for a Fender, perfect for a Fender Jazz.
I usually use the ELIXIR Super Lights on my P bass, and they feel really, really nice. But I also put them on my jazz bass, and they're also really nice. I tend to use there's just the normal light ones on the jazz bass, but they're perfect for me, for everything, yeah.
3 Music Man basses, a Marcus Miller Fender Jazz, I have a Fruitua Custom 5-string, and Say Flamboyant 2 6-strings, every single one of them. All of them have ELIXIRs on them. I don't need to change my strings nearly as often. I can have a bass sit in the case for 5-6 months if I don't need it for any of my projects, and I pull it out and they just sound great straight away. So literally everything that I have has my ELIXIRs on them.
For groove bassline stuff, starting with 45s is definitely the right place to start, you know. Yeah, you can't go wrong with a 45s, and the way they've put the rest of the gauge together, it really sits nicely, you know, making sure that the note presence is there, you know. So yeah, it's all about the note presence really, and the weight behind it, and I think they definitely nailed it in getting the weight underneath the notes with the gauges that they've selected. So yeah, it's definitely happening.